Channel 3, Wave TV, Louisville.
Russell and Dave Brown right along ringside, and by golly, we're ready to go with another big week of championship wrestling. I'm ready to get into it.
I'm ready too. I tell you, we're going to have the Dutchman, Dutch Mantell, in here against Wayne Ferris. That's just the opening match today. Tag team match, the Nightmares. They'll have Jimmy Hart with them. We'll be going against Roy Rogers and Steve Kern. Should be a great tag team action. And then the superstar, Bill Dundee, will be going against the Golden Boy, Chick Donovan, and that's not just a match, that is an expiration of time match. So maybe one fall, maybe 3 or 4 on that.
Is that a great show, or is that a great show? I want to tell you, in addition to that, we have some super action on a bout that really intrigued me, and that was a match between Steve Kern and Golden Boy, Chick Donovan. We'll have some action out of that. Lots of other things, too. We better get at it. Let's go. We'll be back in just a moment. I tell you, going to be a big night right there in the Louisville Gardens come Tuesday night. And man, let me tell you, Dream Night. We're going to tell you all about all the dreams coming up a little bit later on. But right now, I want to talk about a couple of specific ones. The Nightmares won a handicap match with a Dream where only the Dream's mask is at stake. They're going to get it. Dream is going to get a match where he and Bill Dundee will be against the Nightmares, no time, no disqualification, with their mask at stake.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Louisville Gardens has seen a many battle, but you're going to see one of the roughest, toughest battles that you ever witnessed in your life, because that was my dream, to have my partner, Billy the Superstar Dundee, at my side against the Nightmares, mask at stake. And I guarantee you one thing, if I can whoop both of them by myself, there ain't no doubt in my mind that me and the Superstar can't beat them, me and him joined together, because, you know, my mask is at stake against both of them, and I guarantee you I'm going to bust both of their eyes. I'm going to bust 4 out, me and the Superstar coming to do it.
The Dream, carrying on. Dutch, I got to ask you, Kevin Sullivan wants a battle royal with Sullivan, Ferris, the Nightmares, and Dutch Mantell. How can you ever agree to be one against the family?
Okay, I got a dream, too. I got a dream of getting Kevin Sullivan in the ring by himself. Now, that's my dream, but to get that dream, I'm going to have to get through a battle royal with the whole family in there. But the contract says that all I got to do is show up. Now, I was born at night, Lance Russell, but not last night, Sullivan, and I'm not a natural-born fool because my mama didn't raise one. And I'm going to get through that battle royal, and I'm going to get you, Sullivan. Like I said, my mama didn't raise no fool, and I'm not going to start Tuesday night in Louisville. When I get you, Sullivan, I'm going to show everybody that I can beat you, and beat you I will.
And in Dutch's dream, of course, Hart is barred from the ringside, but he said he's going to have to get through that battle royal where the family will be in there actually against Dutch Mantell. That's lots more of it, so you stay tuned right where you are. I'm going to tell you all about everybody's dream coming up Tuesday night. We'll get to it in just a minute. Okay, we have at least half of the participants for our opening bout in the ring already, and here comes the other half of it. We're talking about Pretty Boy Wayne Ferris and his vocal manager, Jimmy Hart.
Come here, Russell. Get out, baby.
Jimmy, we'll talk to you later. We'll talk to you later in the program. Would you go sit down over there now? Come on now.
Look at this, Russell, man. I would have looked at this, baby. The greatest day of my life. Chicago Tribune, Jimmy Hart beats Lawler. New York Times. Is that the New York Times?
That's
or is
the New
it?
York
Read
Times.
it. Read it, baby. The new Southern Heavyweight
You want to sit down or we'll count your boy out? Okay, let's get over there. The new Southern Heavyweight Champion. We will, in fact, be forced to talk to him later on. Right now, Dave.
It's one fall, 10-minute time limit match, and introducing from Memphis, Tennessee, 240 pounds on the left of your screen, Wayne Ferris. Going against him from Oil Trough, Texas, at 228 pounds, Dutch Mantell. This match, one fall, 10-minute time limit. Referee, Jerry Calhoun.
Okay, the referee's saying everybody's set and ready. He's telling Hart to get down off there and get at the ringside where he should be. Let's hope he stays there. Bell time, here we go. And we're off. off and running. Mantell and Ferris. And look at the Dutchman come out firing.
I tell you, off and running is right. Wayne Ferris running to get out of the ring, get away from Dutch Mantell, as Dutch was ready as that opening bell sounded. Dutchman, one after Jimmy Hart, is out wandering around on the floor. Now he pulls his chair around. Hopefully he'll sit there and stay there. But Ferris, track shoes still on, out of the ring again. Conference with Jimmy Hart.
You know, Dave, that's not bad strategy by pretty boy Wayne, because when a guy comes in as pumped up and ready to go as Dutch Mantell is, if you can slow him down and take a little of that steam, it may get his timing off and all. So it may not be bad strategy on Ferris's part.
Mantell working the arm lock. Upper arm across Ferris's back. A good measure there. Little hair pulling by Ferris. Dutch Mantell returns the favor. They're pulling each other's hair. Back on the ropes. Referee Jerry Calhoun trying to get him to break. Get back into the center of the ring. Dutch Mantell. Well, he got him back out near the center. He just yanked Ferris out of the corner. Minute 20 gone in this one fall 10-minute time limit match. 10 minutes only, the time limit. The arm bar by Dutch Mantell on Wayne Ferris's left arm. Ferris on his knees. Ferris with the Dutchman up in the air. He drops him with a body slam, but Dutch hangs on. Ferris unable to break the hold on his own, so he turns to the referee and says, hey, he's pulling my hair. Doesn't work either. Dutch Mantell still got the hold. Ferris trying to hook his arm back around Dutch's leg, get him off his feet. Dutch Mantell, he laid Ferris down on the mat there with a right hand. Ferris immediately heads for the apron, down on the floor, and Jimmy Hart explains what he should do now to control Dutch Mantell. 2 minutes, 40 seconds gone. Ferris back in the ring. Dutchman still stalking him. Referee Jerry Calhoun wanted Dutch to back up while Ferris got out of the corner.
Well, you know, Dave, that Ferris's weight comes in at 240, but I swear to you that this guy has gotten up over 250. He is really big.
He is big indeed. The weight is reported to us by Mr. Ferris and his manager at 240.
Yeah, he hangs on it, but I would bet anything in the world that he'll top 250. That doesn't seem to be bothering Dutch Mantell, though.
Dutchman has pretty well been in control during the match so far. We're past the 3.5-minute mark.
You hear Hart giving him the little family pitch down there, telling Dutch you left the family, and I'll guarantee you're going to regret it.
Oh, Dutchman almost up in the air, but he slips out of it, rolls Ferris down. Count of one, and Ferris able to get the shoulders up after the count of one. Dutch Mantell. Ferris thought he had him going down to the mat, but Dutch Mantell slipped out of it, and it's Wayne Ferris who finds himself there now. And Dutch returns to the left arm. He's had it barred and working several holds on Ferris's arm throughout the match so far. Handful of hair. And Dutch Mantell says, all right, he can do it, I can too. Referee Jerry Calhoun decided that's enough from both of them. He broke the hold. Dutch Mantell, though, got Ferris going, but Ferris fires him into the ropes and got him with a knee as he came roaring off of there. 4:45 expired in this one fall 10-minute time limit match.
Key to that knee off the rope, Dave, is that Ferris had the presence to get up close to him, and Dutch did it too. He didn't let him get a chance when he came off the rope. to get himself set and nailed him, and that's just what Dutch did right then.
Dutchman. Ferris sitting on the mat. Dutch has got almost a surfboard on him there. He's got those arms hooked. And Ferris is going to have to expend a lot of energy to break this hold.
That's really not a best advantage thing for Dutch, though, either, because Dutch is expending a lot of energy holding the much heavier Ferris. It's just something that he had to go into to nail Ferris with both arms like that, and I'm sure he's looking and thinking about some way to get it into a much more advantageous hold.
Ferris able to break it. Whoa, drops with the knee. Dutch not there. Dutch Mantell, body slam on Wayne Ferris. Ooh, follows with a knee, and Ferris was there. Count 2, and at the 2 count. Shoulders up.
Got about 4 minutes to go, Dave, as far as the action in this one. It's a 1-fall, 10-minute time limit. Jimmy Hart out of his chair talking to Wayne Ferris.
Hart talking to the referee, talking to anybody that'll listen, or even if they won't, he's talking to them. Ferris, well, it worked once before. Will it work again as Ferris tries to get out of this hole?
Dutch has his hands hooked real good this time.
Still has him hooked, but now Dutch is in danger of having the shoulder down. Oh, the Dutchman springing. A fall with a knee.
Pretty hard to change directions in midair.
He was in midair, and Ferris just rolled out of the way by about 4 feet. And Dutch had nothing to do but hit the mat. That's what he did. Ferris going after the knee now. We have 2 minutes left. I'm sorry, 3 minutes left. 3 minutes left in the time limit. Dutch Mantell, as he hit hard on that right knee, he does have a pad or support on that knee. But still, Wayne Ferris saw the opportunity and went to work on it. Now he gets Dutch off his feet, got it face locked. Crowd cheering for Dutch Mantell. Wayne Ferris hanging on to the face lock. Jimmy Hart trying to quiet down the crowd. Ferris a little hair pulling while he's at it. Good way for him to lose that hold. Yanks a handful of hair, and again, Dutch Mantell down on the mat. Now, 2 minutes left. 2 minutes left in the time limit. Mantell in control early. Wayne Ferris has been in control the last couple of minutes. Now Mantell back up on his feet, but still in a headlock. Using the rope. Ferris goes by. Oh, both of them hit the mat. As Dutch was trying to set himself, but the momentum of Ferris coming off the rope, and both of them went down. Time, a definite factor in this one now. We have 1 minute left. 1 minute left in the time limit.
Here comes the Dutchman. He's going to have to go and get a pin substantially in a short order because we're running out of time. Sleeper.
Goes for the sleeper on Wayne Ferris. Ferris forces him back into his corner and breaks it. 30 seconds. 30 seconds left. Dutch Mantell into the rope. Ferris nails it. A cover. 1, 2. Dutch breaks it at the 2 count. Dutch going for an abdominal stretch. 15 seconds left. 10 seconds. Dutchman. Whoa. Ferris broke it.
Dave.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be able to get it. abdominal stretch, but there it is. Time expired. Time is up.
Yeah.
Boy, they're not, the time limit is expired, but Jimmy Hart leaped across the ring and hit Mantell with that stick in the back. And now it's Hart and Ferris both working on Dutch Mantell down on the mat near a corner. Here comes Roy Rogers. Ferris grabs him. Ferris and Rogers. Oh, Mantell has got Hart. And there they go. Hart and Ferris. Roy Rogers came roaring in from the dressing room when he saw what was happening, as they had Dutch double team back there. But the match officially is going to be a draw. Both of them had chances to win it in the last 2 minutes of the match, but neither could. So a draw, 10-minute time limit.
Exactly right. And Roy Rogers held Dutch's hand up. I think that means they won the fight.
The aftermatch there, yes.
Bout, because it was a draw. And we've got more action. Plenty of it to come. You stay right where you are, and we'll be back in just a moment.
Someday, this may be the world's toughest non-stick surface, but you can't cook on a diamond. You can cook on Armor Coat. Watch! This is grated cheese, a sticky, gooey mess. With an ordinary pan, you'd need a hammer and chisel. But with Armor Coat, it lifts out quickly and cleanly. This incredible surface is so non-stick, you can clean it with a paper towel. Yet it's so tough, you can abuse it with a scouring pad. We've bonded this surface to a huge multi-purpose skillet. It comes with a high dome lid to lock in natural juices. What's a pan like this worth to you? Before you price it, listen. You also get this amazing drip-proof saucepan. Liquid comes out of it like this. And oatmeal like this. How's that for non-stick? Burnt milk is a kitchen disaster. You might as well throw the pan away. But with Armor Coat, this mess just peels right off. Wait, there's more. You even get this combination omelet and saute pan. It too has the amazing Armor Coat surface. It's so tough, you can do this. We've even put our incredible surface on this unique mini griddle. Take it and discover its many convenient uses. You get all 4 Armor Coat pans, but that's not all. You get this complete 5-piece kitchen utensil set. Plus, as a special bonus, this beautiful cookbook with pages and pages of mouth-watering recipes. You get the complete set, all 11 pieces for only $24.95. It's the greatest cookware offer ever.
COD and charge card customers call toll-free 1-800-358-9999 or send $24.95 to Cookware, P.O. Box 235, Louisville, Kentucky. You get all 4 Armor Coat pans, all 5 utensils, plus the cookbook. If it's not the greatest cookware offer ever, return it and keep the cookbook as a gift. Order now.
They are crowned. I have no intention of congratulating this particular champion. We're talking about the new AWA Southern Heavyweight Champion, Jimmy Hart, who took that throne from Jerry the King Lawler. And so we will follow our practice, and here is the new Southern Heavyweight Champ. I say jokingly. It's a laugh.
Jokingly, huh?
You set the whole Southern Heavyweight thing back 15 years with that farce match that you had.
Well, let me just say something right now, ladies and gentlemen. You're looking at the new Southern Heavyweight Champion. Let's give... Oh, hey, that's right. You love me, don't you? Well, you know what? I feel so good. You know, in music, I had a gold record, right?
Yeah.
And now in wrestling, this is the best thing. Look, the cameramen are so asleep, they can't even get a shot of the belt. Here, boys, let me help you out. Look at this jewel, baby. It's Jimmy Hart's forever. I am the Southern Heavyweight Champion, and I'm going to stay the Southern Heavyweight Champion. What do you think about that, Russell?
Well, I hear you talking, Jimmy, but that doesn't really have anything to do with the fact that the way you won it in a completely loaded match, it was incredible. It should have been, and you do have the Southern Heavyweight belt. You've added that to the family collection.
Well, let me just say this. The family is the greatest thing that ever happened in professional wrestling. I am the greatest thing that ever happened in professional wrestling. Lawler is finished. He's washed up. You know, once there was a Jackie Fargo, and he was sitting high on the crown here in town, and everybody thought he was the greatest thing. And then came along a smart punk by the name of Jerry Lawler, and he knocked him right off. Well, now, Lawler, your day has come, brother, because there's a smart punk on the scene now named Jimmy Hart. I am the new Southern Weight champion. You don't even have enough fans anymore, baby, to pack a phone booth, and that's all I got to say.
Yeah, well, I want you to stand right here. You stand right here. I've got an interview with Jerry Lawler on the explanation of that entire situation. I think it's only fair that we stand
look,
here
I don't want to hear no film on Lawler. He's
I'll
not
bet
down
you
here
don't
today
want
because he's ashamed to even
No,
show his
he
face,
is
baby.
booked
I'm the
elsewhere, and
Southern
he's not
champion.
able
I'm
to
not
be
staying
here.
for nothing. You can watch the film and go to sleep with everybody else out here.
That figures just exactly about what you would do. You don't have the guts to stand out here. Let's take a listen in a bizarre situation that Jerry Lawler.
Well, I would imagine that by now, Jimmy Hart is strutting all around the TV station there with the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt around that little skinny waist of his. Mighty happy that he is the new champion. And I would imagine that everybody is wondering just exactly how this happened. And I've been asking myself that same question all week long, but I'd like to take just a second here to explain, or try to explain, a little bit of how it did take place. You see, a few weeks ago, the promoters came to myself and Bill and several of the other wrestlers around the area, and they asked them, if you could have any kind of match that you wanted with any kind of stipulation involving any other wrestler, what would be the match that you would want? What would be your dream match? And at the time, I just thought they were, you know, it was just a fantasy type thing, wondering what kind of match we would ask for. So I naturally wanted a match with Hart involved, and Hart wanted a match with me involved, and all of the wrestlers came up with some sort of a crazy match with a lot of stipulations where it was one-sided, stacked in their favor. And then a little while later, the promoters came back to me and they said, if you could have your chance to get your dream match, would you agree to be in anybody else, to be involved in anybody else's dream match, and the stipulations that they've asked for? Well, I had to think for just a second, and I said, yes, I would. Because when I went into that match, where the winner of the match would get his dream match, I felt certain that I would win the match. I knew I'd beat one of those punks, and then I'd get to have my dream match with Hart. Or at least one of my teammates would win the match. You know, whenever, every time I step into the ring, I feel like I'm going to win. If a wrestler goes in the ring doubting whether or not he's going to win the match, he usually won't win. Well, the thing didn't go exactly the way we wanted it to, and we didn't come out on the right end of the match. We didn't win it. And so, because I had previously agreed, I had to go into the ring in Hart's dream match. And I had to wear I had to put boxing gloves on, to where if I did get to hit him, it'd be a padded blow. And I was against Hart, and the Southern Heavyweight Championship belt was at stake. But to top it all off, Kevin Sullivan and Wayne Ferris were the two referees. Well, it was a completely one-sided match, all right, all in Jimmy Hart's favor. Every time I would grab him, they would be right there to pull him off of me. Every time I'd try to hit him, they would come in between us. I realized I didn't have a chance about halfway through the thing, and I even tried to hit one of them to get disqualified, but no, he didn't disqualify me, and that's how I wound up losing the Southern Heavyweight Championship. Well, let me tell you something, Hart. For years now, I've been mighty proud of that belt. I consider it my belt. I'm as proud of that belt as any belt in the country, the World Championship or whatever. The Southern Heavyweight Championship belt is my belt. And I'm going to tell you this, punk, and I'm going to promise all you people out there that right now Jimmy Hart has that belt around his waist, but Hart, I'm making you this promise. You will never, no matter what I have to do, you will never be able to defend that belt the first time. You remember that, punk.
Okay, there it is. Jerry Lawler, I will say he was a man of his word. He agreed to go in there. I think there was some misunderstanding that both Hart and Lawler had the gloves on. That is not correct. The stipulation was that Lawler would wear gloves. He was man enough to stand up to it, and he paid the price because he never thought it would take place. And that is the way that number goes. Hey, listen, we've still got the Nightmares. We got Steve Kern and Roy Rogers as their opponent. We've got a great expiration of time match. It'll have Chick, Golden Boy Donovan going against the superstar, Billy Dundee. All of that yet to come on Championship Wrestling.
At the banquet table smorgasbord, our main ingredient is you. And that's why we constantly strive for excellence in all we prepare. And we prepare a lot. Following your favorite meal, take a delicious trip to our dessert bar. And let your imagination run wild as you create your own flavorful fantasy. It's all you care to eat at one low price. The banquet table smorgasbord.
Check the yellow pages under restaurants.
Homework, homework. Give me a break.
Try Summit Candy Bars. A delicious break anytime. Crunchy roasted peanuts. Lots of rich chocolate. And a crispy center. Summit.
A delicious break anytime. Hey, want to go to the game?
Guys, give me a break.
Summit Candy Bars. A crisp, delicious break anytime.
And this taste test, Pabst drinker William Bailey didn't think he'd pick.
Blantz.
And this?
It was Pabst. That's very interesting.
You're smiling, Bill. Why?
Because it's just like the commercial. I would honestly say that I like Blantz better than Pabst. The only way that people are going to drink different beers, especially in Milwaukee, is by tasting the difference.
Taste the difference. Test Blatz against your favorite beer. Maybe you'll say...
I like Blantz better than Pabst.
Monday on the Mike Douglas Show, it's Mr. Warmth himself, Don Rickles, starting off a great week as co-host.
I feel like I'm in a bad catering hall.
Join Mike and Don as they welcome contributing editor Dr. Lonnie Bernbach on sexual communication.
And some people are more protective. It takes some people longer to open up.
And enjoy the mellow music of songster Paul Williams.
Find new life.
Watch the Mike Douglas Show tomorrow at 12:30 on TV3.
You know, a lot of great bouts took place around the country last week, and one of the ones that I was most interested in was not the main event, but it was a match that really caught my fancy because it had two really outstanding young athletes going against each other, and it was a bout that I absolutely was thrilled and interested to see, and that was the Steve Kern, Golden Boy Chick Donovan bout. Man, oh man, when these two young warriors tangled. Well, let's take a look at some of the action as it took place. He misses a big right hand. Sleeper hold on Donovan. Kern very quickly went into it. And he's run into the turnbuckle. I was wondering whether he is going to make it stick. The reason being, Kern was unable to have that left leg hooked on the floor even. He was just on his tiptoe with it, and he really couldn't get the pressure on Donovan. Donovan ducked him, whammed him into the turnbuckle, goes for the figure four. Is this going to be it? Kern underneath the ring rope. Boy, and that saved him. Donovan won't let it go, but he cannot get a submission out of that figure four. Because the action, officially speaking, has stopped. Steve Kern would deny any action stopped as Donovan was continuing to work on that figure four. Kern in trouble. And Steve Donovan, Chick Donovan, is no guy to be in trouble with. Donovan pounding. Once again, he goes for the leg. Spins on it. And he's kicked off right into the turnbuckle. And look at his Kern fight back. He is a battler. Crowd loves it, too. Dusted him with that forearm. Backdrop. into the turnbuckle. All the way up and takes him over on that monkey flip. Now he goes for the sleeper. On his knees. He may be able to get it this time. That time when Donovan took him back, look at that. Suplex, 2, 3, got him. What a super move by Steve Kern. Donovan was going to run him into the turnbuckle again. The minute he leaned over and Kern felt his legs leave the floor, he let go of him, pushed him in there. As he bounced straight back, he picked him into a suplex, slammed him back down, and got a 3 count before Donovan could recover. 19 minutes, 39 seconds. The winner, Steve Kern. And boy, I tell you, I guess you gathered in there that Golden Boy Chick Donovan had used that move before running Kern into the turnbuckle on it. What a great move. I never thought I would see him get him and suplex him back like that. Here's the man that we were just talking about. In his own right, he had the nerve to come out here and at least agree to talk to us about the match. Golden Boy Chick Donovan. Chick, I got to ask you, going into that match, were you not feeling well when you went in there with Kern? Were you just not right and ready for the match?
I have no excuses, Mr. Russell. As you saw it, the man beat me. 1, 2, 3. There's no excuses. I have just been humiliated. Never in my life I would ever think that could ever happen to the Golden Boy, but it did. You saw it.
Well, did he, at some point earlier in the match, hurt you to the position where you were not able to contend with him in the latter part of it?
All I can say is Steve Kern is a superior, well-trained athlete, and he beat me. You know, I have been battered, tattered, and torn to the point where I think I'm just going to retire from professional wrestling. I'm going to hang my tights in an old, cold, clammy closet, putting my boots in an old suitcase somewhere in an attic where I'll never see them again, Mr. Russell. I'm just humiliated. This is a dark day.
Excuse me.
It's a dark day for me, baby.
Jimmy, we already seen you out here with your belt on. I guess you're sleeping with that on.
Well, you better believe I'm taking a bath with it on if you want to know the truth. Let me tell you something, Chick. And I have to be honest. For 3 weeks now, man, I've been sitting back and watching you on the tube. I've been watching you out here, and I think you have the best possibility of anybody I've ever seen in my life. I don't know if you know too much about my background or not, but let me tell you something, man. I handled Paul Ellering. I turned him into a champion. Killer Carl Krupp, who was a champion. And, of course, Jerry Lawler, who I'm very disappointed in. He's through. He has been. But let me tell you something, man. You've got $1 million body. You've got a Cadillac, but nobody to drive it. I want to be that driver.
But, Jimmy, I'm humiliated.
Well, man, look at you, though. Chick, listen to me. Look at you, man. Look at you. I'm telling you, you're a champion. You're championship material, man. You're out here with your head hanging between your legs. That makes me sick. All of my life, I've had to fight for everything. Listen to me. Everything I've ever had all my life, man, I've had to fight for. I'm making you an offer right now. You signed with Tojo Yamamoto, that fat little Jap. He's washed up. He's been washed up. He's overweight and out of date and out of shape. I'm here to stay. The family is magic. You can be magic. I can put magic into you, Chip. Let me tell you something right now. You give me a chance. You sign with Jimmy Hart, and I promise you, you'll be a champion. You'll be a champion. You know, we have a philosophy in the family. I want you got to have a little rhythm, man. Look at you. You look at the way you're dressed now. Come on, we can do it. Listen at this, baby.
But I listen to him.
Well, just listen. I know you listen to him, but don't listen to him. He's washed up. Listen to me. Listen to me. Listen to you. Listen. We are family. Wayne, Kevin, Chick, and Jimmy. Does that sound good? Chick, hey. We are family. Sing it, baby. Kevin, Wayne, Chick, and Jimmy. What do you think, baby? See, it's magic. You can do it. You can do it, baby. He's got it. You what? The champion. Come on, we're going to talk. We're going to talk, you has-been. You're trying to kill this guy.
Will you get out of here? Now, we've had enough of you. Jimmy Hart, Chick Donovan. We're going to be back with more action coming up. The Nightmares. Steve Kern and Roy Rogers right after we take time out for this. Back to Channel 3's Championship Wrestling in just a moment. I want to give you all the dreams. First, a reminder, Thursday, July 16th, Paoli, Indiana, sponsored by the Paoli Little League. Now, Tuesday night, Louisville Gardens. Stand by for this. Sonny King, Coco Ware against Anita and Fucci with Tojo at ringside. Steve Kern faces Jim Dalton. Then, we get into the dream matches. Wayne Ferris going against Roy Rogers. That's it. He's going to put him out of wrestling, he said. Nightmare's Dream, handicap, no time, no disqualification against the Dream Machine with the Dream's mask at stake against both of the Nightmares. Also, we're going to have Kevin Sullivan's Dream. This is crazy. Sullivan, Ferris, the Nightmares 1 and 2, and Dutch Mantell all in a battle royal. Mantell against the family. Can't believe that for Tuesday night. Then the Dreams match will be with he and Dundee going against Nightmares 1 and 2, and the Nightmares 1 and 2 mask will be at stake. And finally, it'll be Dutch Mantell, Kevin Sullivan, all Tuesday night.
This is Ben Jones, and he's been eating the same candy bars as long as he can remember. Ben, could we get you to try Twix candy bar?
Twix? Why should I? I've been eating the same candy bars as long as I can remember.
But do they have a mix?
What?
A mix, Ben. Rich milk chocolate.
Oh, I love chocolate.
Creamy caramel.
Love caramel.
And a delightful cookie crunch.
Crunch?
Yep, that's the mix.
Twix is delicious.
Twix cookie bars, the chocolate candy with the cookie crunch.
Delicious.
Spray and wash gets out what America gets into. Spray and wash gets out what America gets into.
Spray and Wash has gotten out more food, grease, and dirt than any other stain remover. So try our non-aerosol trigger and our economy squeeze bottle.
Spray and wash gets out what America gets into.
We're ready to go with a tag team match here. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Introducing total weight 440 pounds with their manager Jimmy Hart on the left of your screen, the Nightmares. And going against them, total weight 442 pounds from Nashville, Tennessee, Roy Rogers. And from Tampa, Florida, Steve Kern. One fall, 10-minute time limit. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Okay, we're about ready to go with this tag match. A one fall, 10-minute time limit. Don't forget that sensational expiration of time match later. Chick Donovan against Bill Dundee. This should be an excellent tag match. A Steve Kern team with...
That's law for anybody to have feet that big as that Roy Rogers. Look out, he's wearing skis.
Okay, bell time goes. Sit down, Jimmy, again for the 97,000th time as the bell rings and Roy Rogers starts out against Nightmare number 1. Steve Kern pacing up and down the ring. The referee asks him to go pace back in the corner, and he does, in fact. Rogers in with Nightmare number 1, the shorter, but the quicker of the two Nightmares. Over with an arm drag, takes him over and down. Jimmy Hart bobbing up and down like a jack-in-the-box out of that chair, gesturing, poking that cane around. He was bad enough, Dave, until he got that Southern heavyweight title. Now he is totally unbearable.
Yeah, he's just comfortable around here now.
Steve Kern takes over from Roy Rogers against Nightmare number 1, and you'll see him press. Boy, he goes. Look at that. Scissored the leg, pitched the Nightmare forward, who spun out. He goes behind to ride him, but the Nightmare gets to the rope, and it's a good move on both their parts. Good solid wrestling in there as Nightmare number 1 tags his partner.
The quickness by Nightmare number 1 that you mentioned earlier showed itself right there as he was able to get to the ropes quickly.
Well, look at that Kern spin, a reversal, and he takes it over. This guy really presses you. I mean, you don't get in there and have 4 or 5 minutes to stop and think about something. He presses every opponent he is in there with. Who asked you, Jimmy? Hart's sitting over there saying he didn't show me anything.
Well, Roy Rogers in now. Roy hasn't been wrestling all that long, but, man, he's been impressive in the time that he has been wrestling.
He's really been coming on. You better believe it. I would say that Roy at this point is at least even with, if not a little bit ahead of what Wildfire Tommy Rich was. Tommy, I think most of you wrestling fans know, is Roy's cousin. at a comparable point in their careers. Roy's looked very, very good. One thing, as we said, you don't need a lot of experience to have heart. And, brother, he has got plenty of that. He will battle with you.
Steve Kern back in. Oh, they double up a bit there.
He had that arm bar that quickly slipped into the fireman's carry throw, took him over, but Nightmare number 1 tags, or number 2 tags Nightmare number 1. Thank you. Somebody took over my job of telling Hart to shut up.
Somebody shut up, yeah.
Steve Kern goes firing in there, and he really rattled him around. The Nightmare number 1 complaining to the referee that he had his mask, no way. Standing side headlock, Kern picks him up, a real scoop, body slams him right down in the center of the ring. 1 fall, 10 to the time limit match, and a mare that takes the Nightmare number 1 over. His right shoulder is up. No real pin effort there as he took him down.
3 minutes, 30 seconds gone right now.
Yeah, look at that speed. Down underneath, and Nightmare using his speed, pulled it up, dropped with the elbow, but Kern was gone. Roy Rogers pounds to the midsection forearm right underneath. It was partially blocked by the Nightmare number 1. Standing side headlock, picked up, he hangs on, and over goes Nightmare number 1.
I'm impressed with the way Roy Rogers and Steve Kern have been working as a team so far in the match. We've said this many times before, but they are keeping the fresh man in there.
I tell you, from looking at this Kern, brother, he looks like he's fresh all the way through. I'm not going to say he doesn't need some relief because there isn't a man living that can't use it in some of these tag matches, but he is in some kind of physical shape. As was a guy we were talking about a few minutes ago, Chick Donovan, with whatever there is you dislike about him, you can't take away from the fact this guy is a dynamite athlete and in great shape. Right now, Roy Rogers back in there, and Nightmare number 2. Leg drop. He takes him down with that single leg dive. Steps over, tags Steve Kern. Kern comes in, drops down right in the midsection with the lower part of the leg. Oh, both feet, the bottom of them, right in the midsection. Steve Kern roughing him up. Boy, he just went, just the move of dragging him across the canvas. Scars up the back, drops him on the side. Could be 1. And Nightmare number 1 broke that little tea party up.
Time limit's half gone. We have 5 minutes gone, 5 minutes left to wrestle.
With 5 minutes to go, a tag goes to Roy Rogers, and a suplex on Nightmare number 2. A cover by Rogers, and Nightmare number 1 again is the interrupting force in the 3 count. Over the top and down as Nightmare number 2. Who's interested, Jimmy? Nobody asks you. Nobody cares. Just sit down and do what you're supposed to do. Stay in that chair. Roy going up with a body slam. He's covered. They have done that twice beautifully. One of them sets up the pin. The other one comes in. They haven't gotten it yet, but they're working well, as you pointed out. Steve Kern hanging with a side headlock. Tag on Roy Rogers. From behind, Rogers moves in.
Got about 3.5 minutes left.
3.5 minutes to go. Our first match between Dutch Mantell and Wayne Ferris turned out to be a draw.
Hart.
The time limit ran out, yeah.
Hart poked Roy Rogers in the back with that stick while he was over in the corner there.
Big elbow from the Nightmare as he drops down on Rogers. There's a tag on the bigger Nightmare number 2. And again, Rogers is down, followed up by an elbow from Nightmare number 2. 1. Steve Kern came in. He had that one and another one coming because Nightmare number 1 is interrupted twice. Into the ropes, Rogers. Elbow puts him down. Number 1 drops with a big elbow. He goes for the 1, 2, 3, but Rogers kicks his way out of it.
We have about 2.5 minutes left. 2.5.
Nightmare number 1 fires him into the ropes, and there's Hart again. Nailed him with a stick as he was thrown into the rope. Popped him into the turnbuckle. Rogers trying to make it over to Steve Kern. Steve Kern tommyhawked by the Nightmare. In the air, and down he goes. Big body slam. They're working on young Roy. There's a tag. The Nightmares will change out. Rogers dropped into that backbreaker across the knee, and there's a cover. Count of 1. And he kicks out at the count of 2.
And we have 2 minutes. 2 minutes left.
2 minutes remaining in the action as Roy Rogers fighting his way back. Nightmare number 1 stops him by going to the eyes, and there's a tag on number 2. Rogers still hadn't been able to reach Kern. He just barely missed him that time.
Almost got it. The Nightmare slapped his hand away at the last instant.
It's going to be it. He makes a tag on Steve Kern as our time is running out. Kern really powering. Nightmare number 2 fired in. Backdrop. Ooh, now beauty, too. Flipped him way up in the air. Stays right on top. Reverse neck breaker. Kern goes for the pin, and there it is. Nightmare number 1 dropped on him and broke that one up. I thought he had it all the way, but Nightmare number 1 slipped past the referee and went in there long enough to break it up. Whip into the turnbuckles and the knee.
1 minute. 1 minute left in the time limit.
1 minute to go. We've got 60 seconds left in the action that's out there. As Steve Kern is down, taking a little assault from the Nightmare. Roy Rogers climbs through the rope. Jimmy Hart swinging from behind with that cane as Kern just battling his way out of the corner. Time running out. May have another draw coming up here. We got 30 seconds. Kern didn't forget Hart. He reached down, pulled him right up into the ring. Going to disqualify Kern and Roy Rogers.
Yep.
He overtly pulled Hart right up in the ring. Boy, I'll tell you, this Kern, you may slap him, but let me tell you, he don't forget it.
He was poked in the back with that stick again by Jimmy Hart over here in the corner a couple of times. Finally, he just couldn't take anymore. He grabbed Hart and yanked him in there. Referee was right there and correctly disqualifies Steve Kern and Roy Rogers for pulling him in there.
Shame. 1, they were so close to the end of the match. And 2, Hart had obviously been aggravating and poking earlier in the thing while the referee wasn't looking. The mistake that Kern made, he did it right in front of the referee, and the referee had no alternative but just to disqualify him, and that he did.
Time on it was 9 minutes, 36 seconds, so we were 24 seconds away from time expiring.
And that would have been at least a draw in there. As it is, it'll go down as a disqualification win for the Nightmares, and Steve Kern and Roy Rogers will have to take that defeat. Disqualification will be right after it, as a matter of fact. We've got more action. We've still got that Golden Boy Chick Donovan, superstar Bill Dundee. It looks like we're going to have plenty of time for it, and we're going to be back in just a moment right after we take time out for intermission.
Now, food for thought from Consumer Reports. Is that bologna sandwich really a good buy? Consumer Reports found bologna highest in cost per pound of protein compared with American cheese, tuna, and peanut butter. Over 2 times as expensive as peanut butter. Here's a popular barbecue chicken coating. Consumer Reports found it to contain over 50% total sugar, and a non-dairy creamer over 65% total sugar. So you see, in today's supermarket, you need more than just a shopping list. You need facts. And Consumer Reports gives you those facts without the sugar coating, by rigorously testing foods, home care products, appliances, automobiles, and much more. Yes, Consumer Reports gives you reliable brand name ratings on products and reliable facts about services and consumer issues. All here in this non-profit monthly magazine from America's leading independent product testing organization. Consumer Reports accepts no advertising, no free samples. Everything we test, we buy at retail, just as you do. That way, we're always free to speak out, to serve your interests only. The information in just one issue could save you many times the entire subscription price. This introductory offer brings you 11 regular monthly issues of Consumer Reports, plus The big 1982 December buying guide issue when it's published. All yours for only $12. What's more, when your $12 payment is received, we'll send you 2 free gifts. First, this guide to health problems and products, and the current 432-page 1981 buying guide issue. Remember, both are yours at no extra cost. So you save $14.25 off newsstand prices. But soon, the price will be going up. So don't miss this opportunity to subscribe for only $12. Phone 1-800-621-5800. Because today's marketplace is no place to go it alone. Phone right now, toll free, 1-800-621-5800. That's 1-800-621-5800.
Oh, hey, are we back here? Sure. Let's go with this big one. Been waiting all program for this.
Expiration of time match. Introducing from Hollywood, California, 228 pounds, Chick Donovan on the left of your screen. On the right, from Australia, 214 pounds, the superstar, Bill Dundee. This match to the expiration of time, Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Woogie! Off comes the golden jacket of Chick Donovan, and that's what we were afraid of. Hart is out there with him, and I was sure that with that spiel and a line that Hart has, that Donovan would be signing up with him. Evidently has, Dave.
I believe that's true. Jimmy Hart in his corner right now. Nice takedown by Bill Dundee.
You know what? He can be sassy or he can be nasty, Dundee, but beat him if you can. Look at that man, isn't he beautiful?
The golden boy, Chick Donovan, down to the mat, in the ropes. Referee's there, wants a break. He's got it. Well, Jimmy Hart tell the truth there for once. He told Chick Donovan when he was back on the ropes, you got to watch him because he is quick. He is quick, no doubt about it. Talking about Bill Dundee. Donovan goes to the rope, puts his foot outside. Hart with another conference with his newest signee to the family, golden boy Chick Donovan. Donovan. Jimmy Hart says Donovan's been signed with him for 5 minutes, and already he looks like one of the greatest wrestlers he's ever seen. Dundee, boy, he just picked him up, rolled him about halfway across the ring. Bill Dundee winding up that left arm. Chick Donovan on one knee. Trying to overpower each other. Donovan comes up with a hold. Got that shoulder twisting. Donovan, whoa, holds up on the rope. Bill Dundee was going with a drop kick, and Dundee missed. Chick Donovan holding him by the hair and hit him with a forearm. Donovan flips Dundee out of the corner, goes to the face lock. Delay converts to a standing wrist lock. Handful of hair broke that one as Chick Donovan grabbed Dundee and yanked him. Oh, Donovan singing the song Jimmy Hart just taught him a minute ago. 3 minutes gone in this first fall. Remember, it is an expiration of time match. Bill Dundee caught Donovan with a knee back near the rope. Donovan. Hey, wait a minute. Bill Dundee into the corner after him, fires him across the ring. He whipped him into the turnbuckle and then headed for him. Donovan had moved out of the corner. Jimmy Hart over there near that corner. Non-stop talking, instructions to Trick Donovan, the crash by Dundee. One. Hart jumps in there. That's going to do it. And Dundee nails Hart. Hart out of the ring now. Dundee and Donovan still going at it. Now Donovan gets out of there. Jimmy Hart saw the Golden Boy about to be defeated by Bill Dundee, and he immediately jumped into the ring. Disqualification, first fall, Dundee.
Blaming on Jimmy Hart is like about 90% of everything else that we have had with Hart. We're going to take time. I'll be back next fall in just a moment. Louisville Gardens, Tuesday night. Don't miss a bit of it. It will be dream night, and that's when everybody gets their dream. I've told you all about them. Here's some of the guys that will be involved in it and their dreams. For instance, Kevin Sullivan. The whole family going against Dutch Mantell. What is this?
That's fair. That's fair, because what I have to say is this. If he's stupid enough to sign to get in the ring with me, Pretty Boy, Wayne Ferris, and the Nightmares, that boy only has one thing coming to him, and that's a lesson. Dutch Mantell, I am so happy. Because, first of all, I don't like the people in Louisville because, first of all, they've been behind you 100%. And they'll be behind you after that match because they're going to have to take you out with two things, a shovel and a blotter. So in Louisville, my dream finally is coming true. The man can't run, the man can't hide anymore. Hey, now listen, you guys, I want you to be fair to him. When he's down, just let me kick him, okay? No, everybody kick him.
Oh, you're marvelous. I tell you that.
Let me kick him.
And the Nightmares back here won a handicap with a dream machine, and only his mask is at stake.
Well, you know, the only thing that's probably equal to that is the weight. Because the Dream Machine probably outweighs these guys because he's got the Dunlaps. His belly's Dunlapped over his tights. What we're going to do is we're going to take that mask back and we're going to put it in the trophy case along with all the trophies and belts in this area.
Wayne Ferris.
Dream night come true for us.
Yeah. Wayne Ferris, Roy Rogers is your dream.
I got a dream, Lance Russell. I finally got a dream, and that dream is to get rid of you, Roy Rogers. And you know how I'm going to do it? I'm going to beat you. I'm going to stomp you and kick you around just like a dog. I'm going to humiliate you in front of all those people up there, your people in Louisville, and I'm going to make you get out of that ring and swear you'll never be back. You'll hang your boots up forever, son, because you will be finished, because I will finish you off. I hate you. I hate the way you walk. I hate your old mama. I hate your old drunk daddy. I hate everything about you.
Good. Why don't you just hate right out the door? Tuesday night, you'll see it all happening. I was hoping that we were going to have about 30 minutes for that expiration of time, but we don't.
Didn't work out that way. Okay, the draw in the first match, Dutch Mantell, Wayne Ferris went to the time limit. Nightmares won over Steve Kern and Roy Rogers on disqualification. Bill Dundee defeated Chick Donovan. Disqualification, only time, though, for one fall, unfortunately.
Yes, sir, and I'm sure that was a disappointment to Donovan. He was looking forward to getting it back together again and having a win, but a disqualification. That's all the time we've got today. Championship Wrestling for Dave Brown, Lance Russell. Bye-bye.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.